Yeah, it's great to, continue to introduce all the coaches on our staff. Today I want to introduce some more of the coaches that have joined the UTEP staff. We're going to start off with Kevin Schadt, our strength coach. Kevin comes from K-State. I worked with him there at K-State. He did a tremendous job for us. Really liked his work ethic, liked the way he had the rapport he had with the players. The players really identified with him. He was one of the strength coaches that they responded to the most, and I think he'll do an outstanding job for us.
Oh, my.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Hey, doing great.
So just introduce myself?
Sure, please.
All right, so like Coach said, I'm Kevin Schadt. I'm the Director of Strength and Conditioning here at UTEP. Really excited to be here. Only been here for a couple weeks now, getting everything under my feet here, hitting the ground running. But I'm really excited to be a part of the El Paso community, excited to be a part of UTEP. My wife and I are really excited to get integrated with everything, and I've just been getting my hands on the players a little bit, getting to work with them a little bit, getting to know them as we go along here through this middle of the off season as we go. So,
tell us a little bit about your experience with Coach Dimel.
So yeah, I was at Kansas State for the past 6 seasons with Coach Dimel. He was the offensive coordinator, obviously. Worked closely with him and all the players as we went through. That was obviously one of the bright spots about the position here. Getting to work with Coach, I know what he expects, what he's looking for, what he wants his players, what he's looking for out of his players. So all those things are always very positive, and it was an opportunity that I couldn't pass up. I was excited to be able to come out here, and a lot of the other coaches as well. Got a chance to work with them throughout my career, so just excited.
Big part of strength and conditioning is the facilities.
Yes.
And the workout room. Your thoughts on the facilities, sir?
Great facilities, great facilities. Very excited about it. Great room over there. Probably the coolest view you're going to see in college football when you get in the squat rack at 6 a.m. and the sun's coming up over the mountains over there. So one of the coolest things I've ever seen. So it's great functional room. We have a lot of tools in there, a lot of great different machines. Got a lot of things we can use, a lot of functional space that the players, hopefully they like it most of the time. But I think we can get a lot done in there. So I'm very excited about that. Cool.
Perfect.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
All right, a lot of important aspects of the program are getting introduced today. The next one will be our recruiting coordinator, Rahl. Matt has done an outstanding job on a short term of putting together a fantastic class. He's worked diligently, has had some great weekends. We've talked about those weekends, facilitating with the Chihuahua Stadium, Coronado Country Club, the Doubletree. Just using all the assets that are available to us here at El Paso, and Matt's taken all that and put it together, done a great job, and looking forward to him continuing to improve our recruiting at El Paso.
Come on, step right up.
All right. So, like I said, or like Coach said, my name is Matt Rahl. I'm the recruiting coordinator here, and excited to be here. Excited to be at UTEP in El Paso. Looking forward to as we get through this first class. It's been a whirlwind of a first couple of weeks here, just trying to hit the ground running, get going, and get the recruits in and get this class signed. But as we get here, being able to get out and see more of El Paso and what it has to offer. But everything we've seen so far has been tremendous, and it's been a great experience. And looking forward to getting my family down here with me and get going.
Safe to say that you're working more than a standard 40-hour week this time of year?
It is definitely safe to say we're working more than a standard 40-hour week right now. But things have been shaping up nicely, and the key is, I guess, now to get to Wednesday. So.
At UTEP, your position before has always been held by an on-the-field full-time assistant, coaching at positions and everything. How much does it help having you kind of concentrating on this?
Yeah, I think, with everything that has come into recruiting these days, there's so much more to it than just, making phone calls and going out and seeing the kids and trying to get them on. There's all the social media aspect. There's, the behind the scenes. It's a year-round thing now, and especially with the early signing period and all those type of things. So it's become very important, I think, to have, not only just, a recruiting coordinator that's not necessarily a position coach, but also having the staff and the support staff around it to be able to do all the things and implement all the things that take place on a yearly basis for recruiting.
I think you're coming from Texas Tech, is that correct?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. McKendree University and then Wyoming and Mizzou before that. Yeah.
Talk about stepping into Texas, recruiting hotbed, but sort of jumping in late in the game. How difficult has it been to get to recruits out there and then talk them into UTEP?
Yeah, it really hasn't been difficult. You know, my relationship with Coach Dimel was formed recruiting the state of Texas. Many of the guys on staff have great relationships for many years recruiting Texas. Coach Dimel obviously recruited Texas for a long time throughout his career, so we were able to really step right in and use those relationships the guys have previously had from other positions that they've held to hit the ground running with that. You know, this is one of the biggest benefits. I've always felt like Texas, no matter where we were at or where I was at in the past, that you had to have a foothold in Texas in recruiting. That was extremely important. And now being in the state of Texas, it's just going to be really important for us to continue to foster and build those relationships with the coaches across the state and being able to get the best talent out of the state that we can pull into UTEP.
What's kind of the reputation you hear about around Texas from UTEP, just stepping into it?
You know, I think, you know, you hear a lot of times like the sleeping giant, that there's a ton of potential here that just maybe hasn't been tapped into in recent years and whatnot. But, you know, there's a lot of positive thoughts on it. You know, the one thing that I've noticed is that as we've gotten kids on campus for recruiting weekends is just how much the city really sells itself, you know, and we take them around to different areas so they can see different views of El Paso, and it's just breathtaking some of the places that we've taken them, and you see with the mountains and the sun, like Coach Schadt said, the sun, you know, coming up over the mountains from the stadium and all the different variables that go with our recruiting weekends, and El Paso really sells itself, and it's been a very, very easy transition that way.
Big difference between this staff and I think any other staff at UTEP, any other staff before, any of the other sports. Social media, you guys have, and you just mentioned that. Talk about kind of the social media presence, the tweeting, all that stuff.
Yeah, so we actually have a Twitter game plan that we use as a staff, you know, and so there's you know a plan behind it, and but the thing is that's fun with social media is, one, it reaches a bunch of people beyond just recruits, but the other thing is it allows all the coaches to showcase their personality per se, you know, to the fans, to the community, to the campus, to the recruits, to the coaches, and so you get to play off and people see another aspect of you than maybe what they see on Saturdays when the ball's kicked off.
Do you get to take recruits to Juarez, Mexico at all, or is that against NCAA rules?
No, we have not been taking them across the border, so we stay right here in El Paso.
Thanks, man.
All right, awesome. Thanks, guys.
Matt likes the attention. He feels real comfortable. Okay. Another real important aspect of our program is our special teams. Obviously, we want to be really good on our special teams, and Joe Robinson's been many great places, some Power 5 programs. We've been together at 2 different spots. He came into Houston, completely changed our special teams around there, and then, you know, when I was with him in Arizona, the same thing. So Joe Rob's going to make a tremendous impact on our program.
I'm a big fan of the media, by the way. My name is Joe Robinson. I'll be working with the special teams, and as Coach mentioned, I'm here because of Coach Dimel. I've worked with him before and have a tremendous amount of respect for him and the way he runs a program. So we were so excited when we had the opportunity Abby and my wife Abby and myself were so excited to join this program and be in El Paso and be around mountains again. So happy to be here.
I think you're the one that had experience under Kingsbury?
I did, yes,
okay,
sir.
At Texas Tech. So stone's throw away from UTEP. They've actually had some battles here the last couple of years. Talk about now taking part in UTEP and also being in West Texas.
Yeah, just being I'm from Abilene, Texas, so you know West Texas is home to me. I'm excited to be here. Just love El Paso and really appreciate the hard work ethic that I've seen so far in this football team. So we're excited to be a part of this program.
Notice you guys were running ads for kickers, so you guys kind of got auditioning a little
You
bit.
noticed that, huh? Any of you guys got any eligibility left?
No, I didn't.
We're going to have a tryout on Monday. We're excited about it. We've had a lot of response, a lot of positive response. We're obviously out doing some recruiting for some guys that will join our football team next year. We're going to bring some bodies into the specialist room, and we're going to use the talent that we have here already, but we do need to bring in some more guys. Golly, I feel terrible. They asked Matt like 20.
But you can tell signing day is right.
Signing day is close by. The topic is hot. Okay, we've created some quality control positions here in the program, and they're very vital to the success that we're going to have. And I wanted to hire coaches that had good experience in those positions, and Josh Oglesby is someone I got to know, and I see what kind of future he has and what kind of rapport he has with the players, and will be a really good tool for our offensive linemen to develop, and he'll be our quality control offensive line coach.
All right. Well, it's good.
What does a quality control offensive line coach do?
How's it going? So, as Coach said, my name is Josh Oglesby. Excited to be here in UTEP. It's a great town, great area to be in. Especially from where I came from before, there was a little bit of rain. Haven't seen any rain here yet, so I'm excited about that. And just excited to be here and ready to hit the ground running.
What exactly does your job entail?
It's just, helping the offense as best I can with, making sure things are in order, scouting report-wise, game plan-wise, and just really, helping Coach Simmonds with the offensive line as much as I can.
So it's tough knowing that Will Hernandez isn't going to be one of the guys that you're
yeah,
this year.
Will, I had a chance to kind of watch him from afar and saw, how dominant he was and how good of a player he was, and it definitely would have been fun to coach someone like that, especially, with the experience I've had in the past with guys that look like him.
Were you the one at Wisconsin?
Yes.
Do you remember playing against UTEP?
No, so the year that Wisconsin played UTEP was the year right after I had finished. I graduated in 2011, but I do remember that was UTEP gave them all they could handle that day. So I've always had respect for UTEP and just really excited to be here.
What's your name again?
What was
your
that?
name?
Josh Oglesby.
Great. Thank you.
And then the last position I want to talk about is our offensive line position, Mike Simmonds. Mike, like many of the guys on our staff, has great Texas recruiting ties with that North Texas for 6 years and is a really good mentor of the players, someone that's been respected by me, seeing his work and how he develops offensive linemen. I think he'll do a tremendous job with our offensive line, which is going to be a very, very important position for us. Mike's not here.
Oh, he's not here.
Oh, okay, got it.
Can we just get a...
Or actually, I have one more question
Mike's
for you.
flying back. He flies in at 3:30, so he lands at 3:30. So
okay. One more question. Just hiring a 10th coach.
Yeah.
10 coaches this year, new to the NCAAs. Talk about that. Was that a challenge or a welcome challenge?
Well, just taking over the program. We're talking about the 10th position on the staff. Just taking over the program and having the opportunity to hire a 10th coach is going to help so much. Really, by having a 10th coach and having the quality control positions that we have, it allows us to be able to hire a special teams coordinator like Joe Robinson and just let him coach special teams and not have other duties, as well as hiring Matt Rahl to be a recruiting coordinator and not have other duties. And so that 10th coach allows us to have 5 on each side of the ball and let other guys specialize in their field.
Now that all the positions have been filled, I mean, you've putting in a lot of work before now, but now does it really feel like you can really, really get going?
Get rolling, yeah. We're going to get Wednesday, the signing day, which has been so important and, so important to the future of our program is what we do with recruiting. And then once we get Wednesday taken care of, now we got to install an offense, install a defense. And so the workload's been pretty heavy to this point, but it's going to even intensify now because we'll be here, early in the morning and staying late at night.
Coach, more than having 10 assistants, there also seems to be a lot more help, I'm assuming, around Nate Haas with the quality control, the high school outreach. Just talk about how that helps those increased resources.
Well, first of all, coming in and having Nate as your football ops, some of the most important positions on your staff is your academic advisor, okay, number 1, your strength coach, not in any particular order, number 2, and your football ops. But those are probably your 3 most important positions on your staff, and then your recruiting coordinators up there too as well. And so Nate had so much on his plate and was asked to do so many different things that were so important to the program. And so now we've specialized with our recruiting coordinator position, our player personnel director in Barrick Neely, and now we're able to really specify and be more specific on the things we need to accomplish in the program.
And then following up on something, social media, you guys are breaking all records in that. Is that there's really a game plan on social media?
The game, that's what it's all about, our social media and reaching out to the players we talk about, because we want the fans to be able to identify with what's going on in our program. That's how they get, great interest in the program, and we want them to know the players, and the best way to communicate with players, but communicate with the fans is the social media outlet.
And then, yet if you're going to have to get a really good transfer fullback from Kansas State?
Yeah, I've been commenting on the recruiting in Winston because of previous relationship, because normally you can't comment on the recruiting. But he's going to come in here in a couple weeks on February 16th and come see the campus. And obviously he's been a lot of the, very powerful programs in the country have reached out to him about transferring there, but he really likes the things we can do here. So hopefully we'll have a great weekend with him in a couple weeks.
Is there a date set schedule that you want to make kind of a finalized decision?
With Winston, are we talking about?
Good,
Yeah.
yes.
I think he's probably going to make a decision here by spring break, and if he does, then he'll come out here right after spring break and start working.
Is he going to have a degree?
He's got his degree already,
Okay.
so he's finished. So this semester he's just lifting and rehabbing and not going to school, so he's semi-pro right now.
Perfect life of a college student.
No kid, he's got it made right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we can get some video.
Yeah,
Is everybody
a group
good?
shot maybe.
Yeah, some video of you and the coaches together.
Yeah, oh yeah. Wherever they're